Hey, it's MJ. Thank you for joining me for the fireside chat today. And today's topic is going to be 3 tips to improve any relationship. Um, first tip I'm going to say is to start with you. A lot of times people be like, well, if they would change or if he would do this or she would do that, then my relationship will be fine. Well, no, start with you. What can you change? What did you do to, you know, impact whatever behavior? So again, take responsibility for your actions. Some people, um, like you guys know, I'm going to keep it real. Some people play games in relationships, and they use controlling behaviors in relationships, withholding things or, well, I'm not, if they don't do this, then I'm not going to do that. So, going back and forth, back and forth. Again, take responsibility for your actions. Don't always point the finger like this because you got three pointing back at you. And those three that's pointing at you can be the ones to help you change and do better in the relationship. Okay? Relationships need to be mutually beneficial. One person shouldn't be getting over another person's suffering and vice versa. Everyone's needs should be getting met. And if that's occurring, then that's a great relationship. Everybody's happy, it's flowing, it should be, going great. Another tip is to love yourself and check your self esteem, hopefully prior to going into a relationship. But if you're already in it, then look at those and look at your self worth. Are you trying to get your identity from that other person, or do you already know your identity because you had it before you got with that person? Are you seeking love and validation and approval from that person to feel worthy? These are just questions I'm asking you, and you take personal inventory and answer them. Because if so, that's unhealthy also. Because the first moment that you don't get that from that person, there's going to be issues. So if that's what you're seeking in the relationship, check that, look at that, and see how you can fix it without getting that from that person. You should be whole before going into a relationship. You should know who you are before going into a relationship. You should have your self worth and your value prior to going into a relationship. So if not, like I say, just do an inventory and check that. And another tip is if you're in a relationship, how's your communication? Do you actively listen? A lot of times people just they want to be heard. So as the other person is talking, your mind is already processing your response to what they're saying. Instead of actively listening to what they're saying, when they're finished talking, then start processing and coming up with your response. Because if you don't understand exactly what they were trying to communicate to you, that's when you can ask a question. Okay, let me say it like this. Is this what you're trying to convey? Is this what you're trying to say? Is this what you want me to understand? Those are questions you can come back with. So that way you are getting clarity. And as you gain that clarity, then you can put together your response. You know, a lot of times relationships fail, like I'm sure you've heard the statistics, is usually financial. Then after financial is communication because people are a lot of times afraid to address certain things in relationships that they may not be happy with. And that's kind of sad because if you're in a relationship with someone, evidently at some point you guys cared about each other. Or I'm even going to, take it to work. If you have a working relationship, the common goal is the success of the company. So, even if there's, some communication issues at work, you need to be able to address them. So again, the goal of the company can still have that success. But again, it's, whether or not people are willing to communicate their needs or, their wants, desires, whatever. So I know, at the company I was at, I had to write down my goals for working there. Where did I want to go? Where did I want to be? What did I want to do? All of that. And so at the time, my supervisor was supposed to be on board with kind of trying to help me achieve that. And it was helpful. I thought it was, because I could go to different trainings that I wanted to be able to go to, so, I could keep my skills up. So, that back and forth communication, that was helpful. That was helpful. Um, and as you're actively listening, when you do convey your words to that other person, don't don't be aggressive with it. Like saying, okay, say for instance, someone says, well, when you wash the dishes, you don't get them clean. Don't come back, well, when you wash them, you don't get them clean either. You see? So you can be like, okay. And just because someone else may not know how to effectively communicate, you don't have to go there and mirror that behavior to them. You can actually mirror on the flip side. Well, thank you for that input. The next time I do the dishes, I'll try to do a better job, and just leave it at that. And maybe you saying that, they might say, well, maybe when I do the dishes, I might not do a good job either. So maybe I can try it next time too. But that way, you're not pointing the finger. You're not attacking them, because they kind of lightweight attacked you. Like, my mom just say two wrongs don't make it right. So you take the high ground, and, you're still getting your point across, but you're doing it in a non-threatening way. Just, thus that mutual satisfaction, hopefully. And, if you have two people that don't know these things, then yeah, starting off is going to be tough. Someone's going to have to take the high ground and, take responsibility for themselves. So since you're hearing this information, it starts with you. Yes, pressure. So, anyway, those are my 3 tips. Take responsibility for yourself. Um, don't focus on getting love and approval in a relationship from someone. Have it before you get into that relationship. Actively listen, and know that a relationship is collaboration between parties. And during that collaboration, cooperation, sharing, and communication are the keys. Okay? So I hope this has been helpful. And this is your girl MJ signing out for now. Have a good one.